Do you think this is a representation of like a Lavender Marriage, Bill and Doris's
Um,
relationship?
I will say that I feel like Bill gives by very
Mm,
much so, but I actually do think that they kind of represent a sort of like genuine attraction to each other. And I feel like part of the like underlying message, I think by the end of her being like, oh, I need to find this balance between femininity and masculinity, his message from the beginning is like, oh, I need you to be more feminine. You'd be so much more
mhm.
attractive. But then when he finally falls in love with her, she's as masculine as ever and is in the middle of finding that balance between wearing pants and the blouse
Mm,
at the same time. And it's like he almost starts to accept the more masculine version of her as his message. He wants her to be the girl, and then he accepts that she's never going to be just that. And that to
mm.
me felt like they were both going through very similar, like maybe bi awakening kind of things.
Interesting.
Like
That's
I wouldn't
fascinating.
even very specifically call it like lavender marriage at that point because I do think they were genuinely attracted to each other. But it's interesting how like you think about her coming into this zone of like, oh, I found who I am, and he's finding that he loves who she is, which is
Yeah.
something he fought the whole movie just as much as she fought anything else. You know, like he's accepting her just as much as she's accepting herself.
Well, that makes total sense, honestly. Yeah, and to this the idea of like him not being as comfortable himself with like being with someone who identifies more as mask, right? But then him kind of wanting to realize that like, well, I actually probably thought she was hot this whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he probably was struggling with that in the same way, probably of like, how can I love this person who's presenting as non-feminine, right?
And
You
like
know?
he's the first to compliment her when she changes, but then she's not being herself. And so he's like, "You look so good. This affirms my attraction to you." But then
Mm,
she's not being herself, and then she wants to leave, and then all these other things happen, and he grows to love her even more and more. And it's like, no, it wasn't even about
yeah,
her being pretty. You love her no matter what she's doing. And if you go from my end of the interpretation of like I connect to her a lot as like maybe like a trans masculine kind of person, like she
yeah,
could be someone that is like this kind of like non-binary trans mask kind of person, not really identifying so much as a woman, because I definitely have had those moments of like, why am I not feminine enough? Why don't I identify as womanly enough? What's missing? And that's very
yeah.
like similar to the trans mask experience. It's like, yeah, they remind me a lot of like a cis and trans like gay couple in that
Fascinating.
way.